Hey everyone, and welcome to another vlog. So today we're going to install the wiring in our amp kit. So before we do that, let's take a look at all the components that we need to install before we go and set it up in the car. So what do we need to cable up our amp? Well, we need the following. Okay, so our kit that we need to install in the car consists of the following. One long RCA so that we can connect direct to the low input. One main power feed that's going to go to the positive bank on the battery. One negative feed to connect to the earth. A fuse. The fuse has to connect as close to the battery as possible to ensure that if we have a short, it's going to be on the main line to the amplifier and not after the fuse. We then have our feed lead, so when power comes on, this will then power the amp. So when the radio comes on, this will feed the amp. And finally, all the connectors that we need so that we can connect this all up. Okay, so that's our kit. Let's get this installed in the car. First thing we're going to need is tools. Right. Let's get this car to pieces. Okay, so here's today's job. So first of all, we're going to take off our no-name radio so we can get to the back and we can wire it up. We're going to run our cables along this track here. Okay, so that's where we're going to run our RCA cable and our feed. Underneath here, we're going to place our power and our earth. And then we're going to pick up the battery from behind. Fortunately, this is the V6 TT, which means that the battery is in the boot rather than under the engine bay, which means I don't have to run a cable through the firewall to get into the engine. I can just run it around the back, and the battery is very easily accessible. So that bit should be very straightforward. So let's start taking this stuff apart, and hopefully this will be a quick job, although with this car I don't think it will be. But anyway, let's go on with it. Okay, so we have what I've done a soft fit. Okay, so you can see all the cables here. Bit of a mess, I know. So we've got our RCAs plugged in for low frequency. We've got our power, so we can just see the green light there. Comes on. If I turn the ignition off, that now turns off, which is perfect. That's what we want to do. Turn the ignition on, boom. Okay, the speaker as well. If I turn the ignition off, you see it. Yep, we got a bounce. Turn it on. We're good. So the RCA is plugged into the port here. If I can get a better shot. So there you are. So the RCA is plugged in, and we've also got our live feed here going into this cable here. So let's just turn it up, the radio. So you can just hear it now. You can't really hear it over the but it's working. I can actually hear the bass in there. So I'm happy with that. So with a soft fit, we know everything's working. That's working fine. So let's go and do our hard fit now. So like I said, we're gonna fit it along this track here. Yeah, let's see how we get on. It's gonna take a while, so I'll do it and then I'll show you the results after. Okay, so see you in a second.
1 hour later.
Okay, so wiring has now all been put away, nice and neat. Everything's back in play. Now we have to test to make sure it still works after we've put everything neatly. So let's turn it on. Here we go, DVD's on. And amp is working. So we've got our green light. Don't know if you can see it here, but we've got a green light.
James Arthur and You Deserve Better on BBC Radio 1.
And sub is working fine. So that is it. Good job. Amp is in, all nice and sorted. Very happy. So I can enjoy my music now, and I love my music, and get some decent sound out of the cheap, no-name head unit. Okay, so that's it then. So amp now wired in and all working. So at last we've got an amp and the sound system sounds good. Next week I think there's two things I'm going to do. Either we're going to paint the calipers, and I've got a hack to do that. So front calipers, and I'm thinking a red will probably go well with black. And the other one is to paint the seats. So I've got a special leather kit, leather paint kit to paint the seats, and I'm thinking chestnut, BMW chestnut or Mercedes chestnut. It's a brown color, but it's a light brown. Or should I keep it the standard color, the creamy white? Let me know in the comments below if you think it should stay white or whether it should go to the chestnut color. I do like the chestnut, and it's different. It's not like the baseball color. It's a much richer brown, but it looks quite refreshing. So I'll show you how to do that next week, or the calipers. So it just depends on which kit comes first. So let me know in the comments which one you think, if it's creamy or whether it should be brown. Need to know quickly though, because kit's going to be on order midweek. So anyway, have a good week. See you next week. Check out the pictures in the Instagram, and see you next Monday.